things remain to Darcy Cole, she will not forget the thrilling experience of that day and other shopping days to follow. When it was all over, she possessed item, a dark blue serge business suit cut with a severity of line which, on a less graciously girlish figure, would have been grim, with a small, trim, expensive hat and the smartest of tan shoes and tan gloves. Clad in that, Darcy suggested a demure and businesslike bluebird. Item, a black and white small checkered suit with just a little more latitude of character to it, and, to go with this, black patent leather shoes from the best shop in town, and a black sailor hat with a flash of white feather in it. In that, Darcy resembled a white-breasted chat, which is perhaps the very most correct and smartest bird that flies. Item, several items in fact, wonderful but unobvious garments, conjured by the magic touch of Gloria from the purchase of a whole bolt of white, filmy crepe de chine, and several holts of baby blue ribbon, together with well-chosen odds and ends of laces, no less wonderful, but much more visible negligees, with long, lustrous, rhythmical lines, devised by the same Gloria from the bargain purchase of an odd lot of pink crepe de chine, arrayed in which Darcy was able to give herself a very fair imitation of a complacent though pale flamingo. Item, an evening gown of shimmering silver and blue, carried out in the curve of the daintiest of silk stockings to the tip of fairy gift silver slippers, and over it a blue velvet wrap, lined and trimmed with an old chinchilla coat which sensible Auntie had given her several years before, wherein Darcy felt like some winged and shining thing come down from a moonlit cloud. That was the end of 800 of Aunt Sarah's hard, round, beautiful dollars. But not of the whole wonderful trip to Clothesland, for at the last, Gloria produced the most stunning of traveling coats, dark blue cheviot, with a quaint little pig, the whole lined with silken gray, a gray with a touch of undercolor to match the blue warmth behind the gray of Darcy's eyes. "For your wedding present, my dear," explained Gloria, mischievously. And when the girl wept for sheer delight, her mentor abused her and called her Amanda, and threatened her with dreadful reprisals unless she at once dried her eyes so that account could be duly taken of her. Of that stock-taking, Gloria, recreatrix, made no report to the subject, but this is what her gratified eyes saw. A girl who held herself straight like an Indian and at ease like an animal. Where there had been sallow cheeks and an unwholesome flabbiness, the blood now shone in living pink through the lucent skin. The eyes were twice as large as when, the year before, Darcy had set out upon her determined beauty quest, but that was because the sagging lines beneath had disappeared, and the eyes themselves, deep gray against clear white, were softly brilliant with health. Above the broad, smooth, candid forehead, the hair, so deep brown as to be almost black, played the happy truant in little waves and whirls as delicate and errant as blown smoke. The chin was set and firm. That was Andy Dunn's discipline of soul and body. Above it, the mouth smiled as naturally and unconsciously as it had formerly drooped, and two little dimples had come to live in the comers. Beyond and above the sheer formative change in the girl, she was so pulsating, so palpitant with life that, even as she stood quiescent before Gloria's appraising eyes, she seemed to sway to some ill-palpable rhythm of the blood. Yet Gloria was not wholly content. Hers was a wisdom that went deep. The recreated Darcy was a notable triumph, to be sure. Looking upon her handiwork, Gloria found it good, nor did she doubt that others would find it good. But what of Darcy's own bearing toward all these changes? Had she found herself? Until that question was settled in the affirmative, Gloria, recreatrix, would not be satisfied. Just the same, I'd like to see Jack Crimson, or any other man look at her as she is now, once without looking twice. Gloria challenged the masculine world on behalf of her candidate for troubles and honors in the great open lists. Not men alone, but women as well, became addicted to that second look when Darcy passed their way in her new feathers. To her housemates, the change, now forced upon their reluctant acceptance, was a matter of bewilderment, if not of actual perturbation. Halcombe Lee, justified of his prophecies, exulted over the fact to so much a point that Maud Raines felt it her womanly duty to fix a quarrel upon him. Undismayed, Halcombe took Darcy out to dinner. "Never, never, never in the world would I have accepted, Gloria," that dangerous young person assured her mentor, "if Maud Raines hadn't been so catty and sneery about Halcombe's drawing me." And Miss Raines hastily drowned her trumped-up grievance in a flood of alarmed tears. Even matter-of-fact Paul Wood, Helen's betrothed, was impressed to the point of admiring comment. "That chrysalis has hatched for fair," said he. "Hatched?" retorted Helen. "It didn't hatch, it exploded." She and Maud wished to know, not without asperity, first, why Darcy was getting her trousseau in advance of the season. Next, why she was wearing it, item by item. Darcy was wearing the unaccustomed finery for a perfectly sound and feminine reason, which she did not feel called upon to expound for the enlightenment of the two fiancés. She felt taller, straighter, and more independent in it. Moreover, she found it a business asset. Palpably affected by the richness and variety of her wardrobe, B. Regal had preferred a guaranteed basis of work which assured her future income. Thus, the clothes bade fair to pay for themselves. But on alternate afternoons, Darcy, faithful to her training, garbed herself in